We're recording on here.
We starting the year off right.
We're recording on here. Yeah.
You did, Mom. Pause it. You gotta let me know when you're ready.
Okay, wait. Let me stop that. Okay, the video can be whatever. The podcast can't.
I know that. So you can't just tap me and be like, go. You gotta let me know when you're ready. And
Okay,
then...
wait. Hold on for a minute. Why is it going to 14? Oh, God. I checked it. Well, it's going to be 14.
And before you press play, make sure you got everything together. Take a breather.
I'm trying to.
Take a sip. And then we can start.
Oh.
Don't. Sometimes you gotta. You just did a lot.
Okay. We're up here to Boo Boo. I need you to know where you are. Where your where your microphone?
So just make sure that you are.
Questions too.
You know what I'm
saying? Mama, but after we answer the questions,
you're not answering anything. You're gonna ask.
Right. You're gonna ask the questions, buddy. So just make sure you know what you're doing. You know what you gotta do.
You ask the questions. You don't answer.
I don't know any.
Holy shit! I done started on here too.
She's gonna give you the questions.
We're started on here. We're on here for like, I don't know how many minutes already. I have no idea what I'm looking at. I think it's recording there. It's recording here 120, 130.
You can edit that.
That's right. I know how we can edit for video. But okay, so now we're starting here. But for my audio, you let me know when I'm ready for my audio so I can play the music.
So you ready? You got to go.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
That's him.
Okay.
It's a shit show.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
You done pressed something, no problem.
I ain't pressed nothing.
Ready? Here we go.
Anisha ready? Come out. Okay. Hey, let's go get her. You know how we do it every day. Now here we go. The only place to be now let the kid borrow. Talking about everything that you want to know my shit. So, and you know the deal. Anissa on that microphone gon' keep it real. I'm 716, so I know you're gon' feel it. So take a seat and turn your volume up so you can hear it. Cause we about to get it. Talking about everything under the sun. Oh, it's no filter here, she just having a fun. And she ain't gon' stop until she do. Count down to every episode, 3, 2, 1. Motivating and educating and having conversations. You never know, she also like that key to the vision. This ain't for everybody, don't like it, stop beating. She doing this for her so she can keep on elevating. You know how we doing it every day, now here we go. The only place to be now let the can borrow. Talking about everything that you want to know. My shit, so, and you know the deal. Anissa on that microphone gon' keep it real. I'm 716, so I know you're gon' feel it. So take a seat and turn your volume up so you can hear it. Cause we about to get it. Shout.
Okay, people. It's Denise. It's my shit show. And I'm here today with Ezekiel Game Time Titus.
Hello.
And Jace Jaskoyak. He's a newcomer to, I guess, podcasts in the video social media world. Should I do all my tags now or no? Later?
Yes, you can do it.
We're on, no, I don't know how to do it. That's why I always, I refer to my baby. And, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I put some shit on Facebook. But I have my handles on Instagram, Twitter. I haven't done any TikTok yet. But I do have a TikTok. And we're starting the year out with New Year shit. That's all you get. Everything ends in shit for my podcast. So this is New Year shit. And so what I decided to do this year is I'm going to interview all my babies, all my children, just to get a handle on where I should be in this world of social media, podcasting, and getting my shit together to make sure that my podcast is relevant and people listen to it. So I have 5 questions, or maybe 6. I don't know. Maybe 6 for all of my children. So it's going to be like a 4 or 5 part piece, depending on if my daughter wants to do it.
Now, what are these
She's
questions
very
pertaining to?
Conservative. You'll get the questions when I ask them.
But is it like a particular topic, or are these just random?
It's, what do you mean random?
Okay, so sometimes when you have questions.
You want the first question?
Not yet. I mean,
Okay. So
I'll let you
listen.
finish, sorry.
Right. It's my podcast, people. It's my shit show. So I should be able like. He's coming in. This is why I did him first, because he's, he's my go-to for everything I do anyway when it comes to social media anyway. But let me ask the first question because he only has 25 minutes, everyone. So my thing is, and these are all the questions are going to be the same. There is going to be 5 parts, 4 or 5 parts. And all my kids are going to get the same question, and I know I'm going to get super different answers. They're all going to be so differential. They're all going to have, I know they're going to be so different for the same question. But my first question for you, Ezekiel, game time, Titus. And Mapu, that's who he is. He Mapu, y'all. Oh, wait, I should be looking up here. I'm sorry, Mapu. I'm looking at my computer. I'm sorry, people. Mapu. What is your best memory of 2022?
Oh. My best memory would have to be the award show.
Okay.
With Lizzo.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason that was my best memory for 2022 was because I was able to do everything that I love to do. I was able to be a part of something big with one of the biggest artists in the world right now. Especially a person who's
motherfuckers don't be doing that though.
Especially who's a
baby,
person
though.
who's an advocate for plus size dancers. That's one of the main reasons why I love her. Be in a room with one of the legendary choreographers, Tanisha Scott. Be surrounded with a lot of hardworking people, and just be able to dance. That's one of my passions. So that's one of my biggest moments. And then on top of that, the BET Awards. Meeting different celebrities.
So
meeting new
your
people.
performance with her was at the BET Awards, right?
It was at the BET Awards, yeah.
Okay. But you see, people, I birthed this. This is my baby. Okay, oh wait, I'm sorry for podcast people. I apologize. I keep forgetting it's a podcast. I'm uploading this as a podcast as well. But yes, this is my son talking about his experience at the BET Awards 2022? 2022, working with Lizzo. And listen, and you guys can go look it up. I don't know how can they look it up? Like how would they be able to look it up?
The performance is on YouTube. If you
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, if you type in Lizzo BET performance, it'll pop up. The full performance.
So for this year's Lizzo, this year's BET Award with Lizzo and my baby, he's in there performing. He's a dancer. He ain't rapping or singing or nothing, but he's a dancer. So catch him. He be in the front. He do that major split. On the BET Awards. So moving on, because we're trying to hold it down to 25 minutes. I have to do, it's going to be like a 5-part episode or series or whatever the fuck you want to call it, for my start of this year. So your next question is, what was your worst moment of 2022, of the year of 22?
Oh God.
I know it's been a bad year.
It wasn't the worst year. It was just a tough
I didn't say
year.
it was the worst year. No, I'm saying what's the worst moment of the year? Like what's the worst moment of the year for you yourself? In yourself personally. Don't think about the world. Don't think about I'm talking about just for you yourself. Yourself personally.
I think it's just a very close friend of mine's passed.
Okay.
That was probably one of the hardest moments because we grew up together. We went to school together. We were both dancers, and he was a pillar to our hometown and our community. And
We talking about Rook?
Mm-hmm. And he
he
inspired a lot of people.
His memorial was inspirational.
Yeah, he just had a lot going for himself, and I think that when you lose a person like that who has so much
to offer
and still wanted so much out of this world, to be gone so soon, I think that was the toughest part.
Yeah.
But I know that everything happens for a reason. But it was hard to cope, but we were able to make it through. So
Yeah.
that was probably the hardest moment.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that we were gonna go to that. Because I went to his memorial.
Mm-hmm.
It was honestly a blessing to see something so phenomenal. I've never been to a service like that to honor a person in my lifetime. And for me to be able to go to that memorial with my boys and you know, it was very moving, but very positive. Like you go to services or memorials or funerals, whatever you want to call them, homecomings, and this one was very emotional, but so positive, and it honored him in the best way that you can honor somebody for their life's work.
Yeah.
So okay, I apologize. I didn't know. I thought I thought it would be something different. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question, and it's gonna be everyone's gonna get the same questions. I want you to know that they're gonna get the same questions. So what do you want for yourself in 2023?
For 2023, I want to be able to get back to who I was, I guess. And that's
You
just,
feel you're not who you were? What do you mean?
It's been, like I said, it's been a tough year. It's been a tough, I would say 6 months. Just not being able to do all of the things that I want to do or what I'm
Because
used
you've
to
been
doing.
so independent for 6 years and you've
Right.
you've been living the dream.
But it was a choice to do that because I've been doing it for so long, and I just needed a break. That's one of the main reasons why I came home. I just needed a break from having to be such a inspiration to everybody and just be there for everybody. I wanted to basically take a break and do something for myself. So for 2023, I felt like I've been on vacation long enough. It's time for me to kind of get back in the saddle of things, auditioning, performing, doing content, focusing on my music, and just letting people know, I'm back and I'm ready to work.
Okay.
So,
Alright. Okay. And the next question, because it's all questions that you'll all hear for the next 4 or 5 podcasts. Okay, so in saying that, what steps will you take to get yourself to that point?
well, the first thing I did was I started a vision board, which I've never done before. And it basically listed my short-term goals and my long-term goals. So, and my short-term goals are going to lead to my long-term goals. Okay. So, oh my God, what was the question again?
Okay? Do you want me to go back to the other question?
What am I doing?
I said, what do you want? What do you want for yourself in 2023? And then the next question is, what are the steps you're going to take?
Okay, yeah. So the steps that I'm taking is basically just being consistent, getting back to being consistent on what I was doing before. Like being a content creator, that was one of the most important things that I was doing because it allowed people to just see that I was out here working, seeing all of my talents on social media, gaining following, networking, and just kind of building up my brand. So I want to really, really get back into that. I want to do a lot more songwriting, practicing my pen as an artist. I want to put out more music. I want to do visuals. A lot of people have been asking me to do visuals, and I'm excited to do that this year.
My thing is too, I know about the visuals because I know when it comes to music and the shortcomings of our generation, well, the generation of today, everybody needs a video to kind of like, they need to connect words with visuals, which makes no goddamn sense because you should be able to understand like what somebody's saying to you. But they, social media content and videos, everybody wants, they want to see what you're saying. It's almost like, literally being illiterate. Sorry, people, but that's how I feel. Anyway, for you going forward and doing that, And I'm asking you, like, the steps that you're going to take, like, how are you going to move differently? How are you going to move differently? Are you going to put yourself out there more? Are you going to, like I said,
I don't think it's about putting myself out there more for
you feel you've been out there enough?
I mean, there's always more work that you can do, but like I said, I was taking a break. I felt like I was consistent enough to put myself out there. I know how to put myself out there. I know how to let people pay attention to me. But with taking a break, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't putting myself out there. I wasn't on social media as much. I wasn't posting content. But I know that once I get back into it, it's going to be like I didn't stop.
Like you didn't stop it.
Right. And so that's why I say it's very, very
game
important.
Time, people. That's what game time do.
It's important about being consistent for me because the more you put yourself out there, the more people will see. So it's not like I have to do more. I just have to get back to it.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Right.
Because
you
everything.
took a break.
Yeah, I just took a break.
You took a break.
I was on vacation. I feel like as artists, we don't
I was
do that.
pushing people, but he's still being honest. He being honest.
No,
so.
it's the truth. Like people don't understand us being an artist and being. Y'all say famous. I'm not a famous person.
Famous.
Well known. People don't know how to understand and respect the fact that sometimes we need a break or we need, self-care. That's what I needed. I've been doing this since I was 18.
Right.
So that was my time to kind of regroup, get back to my roots, be with family, and
you got a question?
really just hone into, the reason why I started this. Why I became an artist, why I became a dancer. So yeah, I just want to get back to it. That's all. I know once I start, it's going to go back to how it was. Busy, booked, and inspiring people. So that's what's the most important.
And that's your motivation to inspire people?
I like to inspire people. I like to motivate people to, do what they love to do, especially in the entertainment business.
Okay. All right. So podcast people, I just want to let you know because if you listen, I'm gonna upload this video. This will be the first video of 2023. But as he's tapping on my shoulder, you guys need to understand that Jace Vincent Jaskowiak, God, I said his government name, but it's out there. He's my baby. He wants to say something. What do you want to say? We're here. We got Uncle Buddy, the first interview. What's going on?
Are we even gonna continue this video?
We're continuing it.
Yeah.
What do you mean continue it? What do you mean continue?
Like I think I saw Uncle Buddy wave goodbye or something.
No.
No, wait, no, you're right there.
Yeah,
you're
we're
in
still
the
talking
you're
about it.
in the center of it.
We focus in here.
What do you want to contribute to the video? But I'm also doing a podcast, which is talking, which means we have to talk. Okay, so that and while you're doing this, people just work with me for a second. People, especially my podcast listeners, just work with me for a second. My grandson has always been interested in the podcast, my shit show. And I'm trying to get him to understand how it works. So what I'm doing is right now I'm talking. And when people listen to it and they tap into it, they're gonna listen to it. Okay? They're not gonna always look at the videos. I get more people that listen to the podcast than watch my videos. Okay? So you have to speak and be direct and you have to know what you want to say. Uncle Buddy, I'm asking him questions. I'm doing interviews. We agreed to that, right? What's your question? Is it for Uncle Buddy?
What's your question, buddy?
What's his question?
Have you ever even been on a date before?
A date? Oh,
Have I been on a date
Have you been
before?
on a date? Jace wants to know if Uncle Buddy has been on a date before. Like, did he go out to dinner and have like a meal with somebody? Oh, have you been on a date, Uncle Buddy?
Yes, I've been on a date before.
Yes.
I've been on a lot of dates.
Oh my God, people! He done been on a lot of dates. Don't spread
Not
that around
like
too
that.
much. No, I'm just joking.
I am an adult.
It's a joke.
It's how you meet people.
Yes, Uncle
But yes, buddy,
yes.
I've been on dates.
He's
before.
been on dates before. That's your only question?
You have any more questions?
Come on, we're doing a podcast and we running our time out. What's the other question for Uncle Buddy? It's Uncle Buddy's interview, so we gotta. What?
Is he married?
No.
No, I'm not married.
You would know if he was married. We would go to his wedding.
Yeah.
He's not married. You have a lot of adult questions that you're asking.
Yeah, these are.
Okay, people, that's Jace Jaskoyak. He's asking about marriage and dating. He wants to know what's going to happen later on in life. Trust me, people, he's only 6. He's a 6-year-old.
He's a very intelligent
Yeah, but
6-year-old.
yes, he's very intellectual, and very curious, but very smart. He's very smart.
Yes.
But yes, Uncle Buddy is not married, and he has been on dates. So, Nona has to get to my other questions with Uncle Buddy. Can I get to my questions now? All right, people, it's my shit show, so now I'm going to the last questions with, sorry, people, it's game time. Ezekiel Titus, also known as Uncle Buddy, that you've heard since Jace got into the mix. Okay, so whoop, I'm gonna turn the page. Okay, now I'm being selfish, people. This is the last question. Well, one of the last questions I've asked. How do you feel I can expand on my shit show?
I feel that you can expand by putting yourself out there more.
Definitely.
I feel like you need to focus on you more. If this is something that you really want to do, I feel like consistency is very important. And I know that you have a busy schedule, you know, taking care of the household and everything, but everybody needs to understand and respect the fact that just how everybody has their own self-care and their own self-time, you should be able to do that as well. And everybody needs to understand that. Regardless of what it is, regardless of what time it is, you shut your shit down and you make sure that it happens. And I bet you everybody else will understand and respect that. And what else? I mean, I feel like you've been doing a great job. I just know that the more that you do it, the more that you'll learn.
Okay.
But it's all about being consistent, learning to be more tech savvy. And
that tech savvy shit, that's the thing. That's what I've been trying to push for these motherfuckers. Like,
right,
I try to give you, but baby, listen, I have tried to. I did my website and my podcast in the same day. I did all those things in the same day, and it was terrifying. The things that you have to do and the effort that you have to put in, and then it's the follow-up. It's the follow-up. The follow-up. What I'm understanding, I'm 50 years old, I have nobody to help me navigate this shit. But I still forge forward. Okay, and we're coming up, but listen, let me tell you, podcast listeners, I am coming up on, we're coming up on 22 minutes, so we're going to finish up with him. But anyway, everything that he's saying,
let me finish.
Go on, finish.
So, I know that you could do that, but it's also, you have to commit yourself a lot more. It's not just doing it, but, you know, doing your research and, you know, there's YouTube videos, there's Google, there's a lot of things that is going to help you. You could do more. Because there's always new videos and stuff like that. Technology is always being updated. Podcasts are being updated. I even listen to podcasts as well to get some type of inspiration and influences from other people that will help benefit your podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's just how, like, for me being a dancer, me being an artist, I look at other artists and see, you know, take some type of gems from them. I love watching interviews with other artists. I'm gonna try to be quick. I love watching interviews with other artists because
don't let the time. Listen,
I know.
I do it. Listen.
It
I
helps
always
me learn.
put time on it. You got 5 minutes extra.
Okay, yeah.
Trust me.
It helps me learn a lot about myself and what I want to do to be an artist. So if I'm dancing, I look at other dancers and see what I could take from them to help me be a better dancer.
Okay.
So with a podcast or anything that you set your mind to, it's always good to, you know, outsource and see how other people do it. Because when you put yourself in a position, it's like working with like-minded people. You know, when you do that, you benefit from that.
So when sorry, I don't want to cut. Am I cutting you off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I want to chime in and saying this. Before I did this, I didn't listen to podcasts. What I did was I did go to YouTube. There was one particular guy I listened to, and what he was just about the setup. I'm not gonna lie. It was about the setup. I got the mic, I got the cameras. Like I'm looking on 3 different fucking cameras right now, and I got a mic. I have everything that I need. As like my setup is good. I got lighting. If I want it. If I can do the shit without. But I never listen to other podcasts.
Yeah.
I never listened to other podcasts. That's the one thing I can say that I didn't do. I didn't listen to other podcasts to see what. But I don't want to be like anybody else.
You don't
that's
have to
the
be
one
like
thing that scared me.
anybody
Like
else.
I don't want to emulate anyone.
It's not about copying and paste because there
I
are
want to be
thousands and
myself.
thousands of people that are going to be doing the same thing that you're
Right.
doing, but you're going to bring something different to the table that makes you stand out always.
Okay.
It's like a pair of sneakers. It's like
I
different
think
artists.
I think that's what scared me.
And
I think to listen to other people scared me to think that I felt like I would, if I did listen to other podcasts, that I would be like, okay, I'm trying to act like this motherfucker, or I'm trying to act like that motherfucker,
No.
and I'm not, and I want to just like, my thing was just to really just tell my story. It was supposed to be, I thought about doing it day to day, but that shit is taxing. It will never fucking happen, people. It will never happen, people. Whoever listens to me, it will never happen. It's just too much. I can bring stories from my life, my history, or I like I'm doing now, like I want to bring all my children in so people can get to know like what I have behind me. But yeah, I can take that. I can take that. So it's basically still reaching out more and finding more resources to enhance myself.
It's what works best. Everybody's process is
It's different, right?
But I always tell people this. It's like, I'm not saying that you want to be a master at it, but it's like when you go to a job, it's like training. You're going to always learn something new. You're going to always want to learn something new in order to excel and to elevate.
Okay.
So in order for you to get better and to learn more about your podcast and what you want to provide to your audience, you have to put in the work.
Right.
It's like training mode. You got to always be learning to train your brain and train yourself into being able to add more things, or just knowing what you want and then asking for that particular help. So if there's something that you want to add to your podcast, learn about those resources, or even come to us and be like, hey, I want to add this. How can we do that? And I can help you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just all about what you want, seeking out with it, and then taking it from there. But you're not
proper resources.
right, and you're not taking away from anybody else because you already created your own lane. And so now it's being consistent and making it happen. That's
Okay, my people. Let me know why he's saying I ain't taking away from people. Let me get to the last question. Let's get to the last question. It's my shit show. Are you willing to help me with your suggestion?
I always help you. I
Okay.
help you all the time.
So, are you willing to help me with that suggestion? Are you really?
Yeah.
Are you willing to put in the time to help me, like the things that I don't know? I know how you've helped me. My baby made the jingle, motherfuckers. The jingle.
Yeah, but
the jingle.
you
But
have
my
to,
thing is,
you have to take initiative.
this ain't initiative.
This is initiative.
I was gonna say,
but I'm not talking about.
Oh, okay,
I'm talking about the podcast initiative itself. I'm talking about what are you doing behind the camera to take initiative. I'm not saying that you haven't. Don't look at me crazy like that.
I ain't looking. I'm looking at the camera, and the camera crazy because I just did all this.
I know you did.
Okay.
I'm not taking away from that.
This is
But
like
what I
this
just
is
said-
a mommy and child argument, people.
But what I just said
sorry,
before,
folk.
as far as helping you, ask me questions. How can I, like, just how you asked me the question, I gave you suggestions. So now it's about taking the initiative and making it happen. Just how you said you never listened to other podcasts to get some.
I don't. Wait, no, right.
So-
So he answered his question within question 5. I'm sorry.
Yes.
He did answer the question.
It's
He
all about
basically told me to take initiative, and so that was his help. Because I was like, is he willing to help me? That was my last question, people. Are you willing to help me with his basically his suggestion from question 5? And I appreciate that.
I always help.
I
That's not-
appreciate. I know. Listen.
Somebody asked the question.
Because listen, because shit, my podcast should be popping. No, anyway, I'm just joking. It is what it is. But It's an
But
honest
we all help
conversation.
each other out.
I know.
I feel
we
like
do.
we do.
We
so,
do. We always do. We always
like I
do.
said, it's all about the consistency. It's all about setting time for ourselves to make it happen.
And I'm not consistent with the podcast. It's willy nilly, and people who listen to the podcast know it's willy nilly.
Right, but sometimes you have to
But it's
inspire
just like,
yourself.
yeah,
to make
right.
It happen.
And most
And
of
even when
the
you
time
don't
when I
wanna do
do
it-
the podcast, sorry, I don't want to talk over him or him talking over me. When I do my podcast, it's inspiration.
Right.
It's inspiration. 2022, a bitch wasn't inspired.
I wasn't inspired either. I wasn't inspired either in 2022.
So, you know,
That's one of the main
I
reasons
was
why I decided to
inspired to
take a
start the podcast, but I wasn't inspired on every level to continue it on a week. Listen, I was paying for this motherfucker. I paid for it for fucking months and months and months, and didn't put no content. And that's the thing too. Like you really pay for this shit. It's not like this shit ain't fucking free.
Ain't nothing free
This
in
shit
life.
ain't fucking free.
It's all when you invest. This is my thing. When you
Right,
invest in
it's
something
an
that you want to
investment.
do,
It's an
you're
investment.
going to make it happen because you don't want your money to go to waste. You don't want your
But
passion
mine's
to go
went
to
to
waste.
waste for a
And
long ass time.
If it's all about, like I said, it's all about dedication. There's going to be times you're going to have to do your podcast and you don't want to do it. Sometimes it is going to have to feel like a job, but you have to keep inspiring yourself. You have to, keep motivating yourself to do it. There's times where I'm on Bigo right now. So there's times where I don't want to be on Bigo, but I know I do it because I know that other people are going to take from what I say or what I
Right.
do. Just how I do
Right.
my TikToks. There's times where I don't want to dance and do the TikTok trends, but I know for a fact that people love to see what I do because it inspires them and it entertains them. Even if I don't want to do it every day. So sometimes it's not about how you feeling, but when you build your audience.
But is there a benefit? What's the benefit? What's the
The
benefit
benefit-
for you?
The benefit for me is
you?
that people look up to me, are inspired by me by what I do. And so
Okay.
just how you have an audience
Okay.
right here for your shit show podcast, you
It's
build
my shit show.
It's your shit show, but
No,
you
no,
build
no. My shit show. Say my shit show.
my shit show podcast. Sorry.
Thank you. You gotta say it like that.
People are inspired by what you say because they come back and they want to listen to what else you got to say
Right.
or what else you're talking
Right.
about. And so now that you have that, you have to hold yourself accountable
Accountable to it.
because now
Damn.
people are looking up to you.
Damn.
And it's the
And our kids can always teach us something, and that's the one thing that people don't understand. Like, this is why I'm doing these podcasts right now for the beginning of the year, is because I want the feedback. I want the opinions. I want to know how I can go forward and make it better. Because my kids have always been my future. So, yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
and
always
it
room
is.
for
And
growth.
it is literally holding myself accountable.
Yeah, and just
But
don't
this
be
is my
discouraged.
child telling me listen, I started something and I have to be accountable for the shit that I started.
Yeah. It's just
I love it.
we put ourselves in a position that this is something that we want to do. We putting it out there to the world.
Right.
We have to hold ourselves accountable. Like
Right.
I said, I be feeling bad sometimes when I don't post content because people always like, "Oh, we missed you," or "Welcome back, Arcade. I'm so glad that you came back." Like that means a lot to me, and it just shows like, okay, I have to hold myself accountable now because
And I gotta stop
Damn,
because
people
you
really
know, but
be
you know me,
looking
you
out
know
for
how
me.
I am. You
No,
know,
but
I'm a shitty person. I'm not a people person. So, but
it's crazy
because
because I'm not a people person either. But people,
boy,
no,
please.
I feel like I'm not a people person, but people love who I am. It's a
I
different
know
because
that.
I stay to
Babe.
myself a lot. I'm your
Boo-boo.
son, so you
Yeah.
understand.
No, I understand.
But we build-
listen, none of my kids are people because I that's how I
We like
raised
to
y'all
stay-
be.
yeah, we're very
comfortable
interested
with
and we stay to ourselves.
Right, with ourselves.
But
Right.
people love us. People love being around us, getting advice from us, being inspired by us. So we have a purpose,
Something to give.
and we have something to give. So
Something
holding
to
ourselves
give.
accountable like that is very, very important because it's kind of like you're giving back.
Right.
And like I said, when you do something like this, you are inspiring somebody. You are motivating somebody to do what they want to do in life. And so it's very, very important. So it's like if you want to do it, then do it. It's
Do
okay
it.
to take your
Right.
breaks and
Right.
kind of go on a
Right.
hiatus sometimes, but
Right.
make sure you
Right.
come
Make
back.
sure you
and
come
do it.
back and do it.
Mhm.
And listen, this is why we're coming back, and I'm coming. This is New Year shit. This is how I'm going to label it as
Right.
New Year shit. New Year shit. For me to do something new this year
New Year,
and be
new shit.
New Year, new shit, and not fuck the resolutions. I'm not into listen. What that say? Read it.
No resolutions. I don't do
No,
resolutions anymore.
listen. I wrote it down days ago because I'm not trying to do this podcast as like, oh, we're just these resolutions. No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to say I'm gonna stop doing something and do something else. No. I just want to go fucking forward.
Yeah.
I just want to go forward.
It's not about even about the resolutions anymore.
Right.
It's about just setting your
But
goals.
for most people,
like I said, that's why
it's a tradition to have resolutions.
It's a tradition, but a lot of people have.
to stop.
They have, but
Right.
some people are good with their resolutions, and then there's a lot of people that
that
aren't.
aren't.
It's
Right.
just what works for you. I've learned over
Yeah.
the years, New Year's resolutions don't work
Don't
for
work.
me.
Right.
But I know that when I set goals and I write them down and I manifest and I do these different things, it works in my favor all the time. So it's all about
And
what works in your
Let me say this because I gotta
That's
put this
all.
video up. And podcast listeners, I'm sorry. I wanna definitely appeal to you because it's not like this is definitely a podcast and not a video, but it will be up on. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But what I am doing and what I'm saying is that when I went into this for this year, it's definitely not about resolutions. It's not about saying, okay, I'm taking away something and I'm not going to do this because I've done this for so long. It's just like to make the slow changes. Slow changes to make yourself better.
Right.
And that's for me. That's what I'm doing. I'm realizing like I'm a person with high stress. I know for myself I'm always negative, especially when it comes to me, and I just want to love on me more and know that I'm 50 years old. I am good. I am fine. I haven't done anything wrong, and so I am like going forward. I'm just gonna make things better. It's not about like stopping and or hating myself for anything I've done in the past.
Or trying to go cold turkey to change things.
It's just
or
like
forcing things on yourself because
right.
it's something that you want so
Right.
badly.
Yeah,
it's like slowly, gradually go into it.
I just want to go into this year as being like, okay, taking care of myself and knowing my limits and not everything that I'm going to do this year is going to come from a place of I know what the fuck I want.
Right.
That's basically
Because
it.
over this year and over every single year, things change all the time. The things that we want change. So it's like that's why I say it's important to have short-term goals as well as long-term goals, and just
And my
slowly
babies always have goals. That's what I want to say
just
to you
work
people.
towards them.
Video and podcast folks, my children, they always have goals and they always meet them. And I honestly don't even feel like I'm a part of that, but I birthed so many goal-oriented human beings that it's not even funny. They've traveled the world. They've done so many phenomenal things, and it's things that I can't even scream about, like to the world. Like I can't even scream about it to the world. But they follow their passion and their love, and they're so dedicated to it. And that's I think that's why I'm doing the podcast, because I know that I have children that they've grown into themselves, and they were never ever a problem. They were always good kids. It was crazy. It was like I had to beat something into them. They were just always good kids. Always great kids.
Thank you.
Always. Just always good kids. So yeah, we've pushed it about 12 minutes past, but I have the extra time for the podcast. And I just want to thank my poo, Ezekiel, Titus, Game Time. Y'all need to go listen to it. All music streaming platforms.
Game Time is on all platforms.
Clocked In. Clocked In.
Game Time Official on all
We
social media platforms.
should have played some music for him. I think I'm gonna play some music in the other one.
We fine.
I know we fine, but we gonna play some music in the other
I
months.
love the dedication. Y'all be listening to the music like crazy.
But yes, I am so happy that I got my first podcast of the year knocked out. I'm about to upload it, and then I'm gonna start on my next one. So, you got anything you want to say going out?
Oh no, thank you for having me. It's crazy because we're gonna be discussing some more about New Year's resolutions. Do people do it? Do they not do it? So I feel like this is just the perfect situation. No, I'm just saying as far as the topic, you got my opinion on it already, but I know it's a discussion that I have planned on having tonight, as well as just with other peers and stuff like that. So it's a good topic to have for the beginning of the year.
To me, it's like when it comes to resolution, it's like, what is it? You know what I mean? To me, it's just like, if you want to change something, you can change it all year long.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with
so
change.
It's like it's nothing to wait. If you wait until the end of the year to say I'm gonna stop, that shit ain't gonna happen. It's BS.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a New Year's resolution. It's like if you want to change something, change it right now.
You can change it.
It doesn't have to be at the top of the year. If you figure out you want to do something in mid-December, start it mid-December. It doesn't have to be January 1st all the time.
It could be June. It could be whenever.
Right, exactly.
But
That's what I'm saying.
the resolution shit, I'm not into resolutions. I fed into it for years and years and years and years. But anywho, it's my poo, Zeke, Game Time Titus, and we're out. Thank you guys for listening, and
we're gonna continue this.
And now Jesus turned in. He said we're gonna continue this. We got more podcasts to do. This is part 1, people. Listen. It's my shit show. Twitter, Instagram, what's the other one? TikTok. I never did a TikTok.
Buzzsprout.
Oh, Buzzsprout. Fucking
the
shit.
Main one.
Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is where you can hear the podcast.
But all of the information is usually in the caption below.
Yes, we'll put it. Yeah, everything will be in the caption. No, listen, I am so new and so old, but it will be in there. And thank you so much, my poo-poo. And we're out, people. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.
Okay,
Wait, do you have an outro?